Hi everyone and welcome to this new video about the water system. And I'm really excited for this video because this means that we're getting close to finishing the van. And if I'm being real, I like that idea a lot. So I'm going to take you through all the products I have here, what we're using. And then during this whole video you will see how we use it and what it exactly is. Because otherwise I'm just gonna talk a lot and you're not gonna know what's going on if it's just laying next to each other. So we got some products here that are for the Truma. This is like a FOS control, so that if the Truma freezes, it empties itself. Then we get here the pump. It's a 2.8 pump. This is an accumulator. If I say that right, it makes sure that the water flows consistently without like. This is a water meter and it works super easy, and I really like the style of this meter. So what's happening is that you hang this in your tank, and then this thingy will float on the water, and if the water is like this full, it will show up on the screen like that, and if it's empty, it will show it's empty. So it's super easy and it's so nice. I just really like the style of this little cute old school meter. Then for sure we have the hoses. It's all flexible. They're extra thick so they can handle heat, especially the red one for sure. Then we have a 40mm hose. It's for the filling up, the filling from outside. Then we got some clamps. These ones are for sure for this 40mm ones, and these ones are for around the 12mm flexible tubes. Then we got the crossings here that you use to split up if they need to. I'm using this shape instead of the normal T because the guy told me that if you use a T crossing, you're actually stopping the flow, because if you're driving in a car and you get to a T crossing, you need to stop. If you get to a crossing like this, you can keep driving. So super smart. I got some extra straight ones just to be sure if I need them. Then I got the connections that I'm going to use to mount the tubes to the floor. Oh yeah, this is just a quick, really lightweight tap for in the garage. So if you want to shower outside, we can just use this one. And then for sure the water filter we're going to use for drinking water with a separate tap. And I have there also still our big tap and the shower tap. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, and that's why I think it's better if I just show you what I'm doing with it. Oh yeah, really important, we have a 120-liter tank, and the connections on the tank are all nice and strong. And I also got them here for the filling hose. They're all nice and strong, so we don't need to worry that much about breaking the plastic and stuff like that. So I'm really happy with that. Just a little tip for if I ever do this again, I will never forget this. First put on the tubes and then close your wall. Just a tip, and do it, because this is awful. It's really hard to get it in right. I think I got it in right now. So this is the air tube. So if you're filling up your tank through this tube, the air can come out. So you will not get a vacuum tank or let build up pressure unnecessary. So that's why I have this tube on top and this 40mm tube under it. Going to be placed here. I choose this spot because it's going to be wood on both sides to secure the water tank and to have ribs on for the surfboard plank that's going to be on the top of here. And also we have this tube running here, that is the tube that is connected to the tank to actually go to the whole water system. So it's the most important piece of tube from the whole water setup. That will be going like this, because if we put it on the side it will not be handy with the ribs, because then we need to cut pieces out of the ribs on the side. So I better have it somewhere here in the middle, and I will make some cuts, some holes in the ribs that are in the way. I think it's only 2 ribs, so it's fine. So this is the spot. I'm gonna mark the holes with a pen, and then I can make some holes in this tank. So now I made all the holes for the screws. Now I need to make the hole for the floater as well in the middle. This cannot go wrong. Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, it looks quite legit though. The next step now is to connect everything properly and put the pump on. It's gonna be scary, but I need to know if everything is connected correctly. Otherwise, it's just stupid if I'm just gonna not do it. I'm gonna do it. This will not just jump off. Sure about that. 10 minutes. For a little in-between shot from what I'm doing. So I place a pump and the accumulator. That word is so difficult. So here they are. So the original plan was to actually put the pump there or against this wall. But then I saw and I read that the pump and accumulator vibrate quite a bit. And this is a 10mm plank. So if I was going to hang the pump on this 10mm plank, I think the whole kitchen would be vibrating if we are using the pump. So I didn't find that a good idea anymore. So then I went to look for different spots and I was like, why not under the zinc? Makes so much more sense. The zinc has his outlet in the floor there, so that meant that I had this space behind the zinc completely empty. The water filter is going to be situated here. I definitely need to change this one into an elbow fitting because this is gonna take way too much space. So I pulled the hot water as well from the Truma to here. I'm gonna connect it under the zinc to the tap, and I'm gonna drill a hole here to make the tube go, the hot and the cold water go to the back of the garage where I will be installing this little tap. And then what I have been the busiest with is under this white box. So I have been working on the Truma. So as you can see, this looks quite professional, what can I say myself. So what I did is I put the one direction valve in. This makes sure that the water can never go from the Truma back into the system. This is the frost control, so it will automatically let go of all the water if it starts freezing in the van, so you will not freeze to death your Truma. The connection is also on the Truma, as you can see. I'm using every time when I cut the tube one of those white things to pressure together. And here we got the hot water connection, so the hot water will come out this side, and this is like a pressure condensation valve that will let out any condensation if it's needed. It will go outside of the van. The bottom, I still need to cut skew in the direction of the driving ways. Now it's time to connect the hot and cold water to the filter and the main tap. So let's start. So it's time to connect the outlet from the zinc to the pipes, so it can go through the hole that we pre-made in the floor already with a PVC connection. You can see a video about how we installed these connections properly in the floor, so your floor is all safe from leaking and hopefully rusting. Not sure. This link will be in the corner, so check it out. Now I'm just gonna measure the length we need for the PVC pipe that's going to be stick out a little bit. Then I'm gonna have one of these connections and a little extra pipe that's going to be in between this and this. So you probably think, oh, that's a nice fancy one, and it is, because this is one normal, we call them siphon. I don't know if you call them in English the same. They normally look like this, but if we put this under the zinc, look at the space it takes. So that's why I found this little one that works basically the same. Like there's a little like blue plastic thing in there, like rubber, that does the same job as this whole huge system. So the water runs through here, it will run to this, and none of the dirty smell will also come back, and also it will stop the wind from blowing in. Don't forget that that hole is quite a wind hole, so if we need to clean anything, we can just open the front and there you go. So the pipe is in. I use a little bit of force and a little bit of soap, and it's super tight now. So that's really nice. It's sticking out a little bit on the bottom, if it's right, if I measured it right. And now it's time to put this connection on, measure this part, and everything will be, I hope, in order. To connect these two pipes, I'm using some PVC glue. So let's connect this. Let's see. this connection is in. Down. It is time to take you through the whole water setup because it is working. So let's start. Let's start outside. So here we can fill the tank. It's a 40mm hole that goes in. Tube comes into this 120-liter tank. It's a 120-liter tank. And here you will see the blue tube is running out to let the air go out when you are filling the tank. This is the water meter, so you can always see how much is in the tank. It works really easy, I showed that before. Then from the tank it runs here up to the tube to the pump. So from the tank it will go into the pump. From the pump it goes to the accumulator. That's a difficult word. Then it runs down, and here it splits up to the tap and to the water filter. Then it goes to the truma that is located under here, and here the truma will also turn the water into hot water, and then the hot water will come back in and it will go to the main tap, to the shower for sure, and to the back, because in the back we will also be having hot water because we want to use the hose in the back also as a shower. So not just to clean the surfboards or anything, but also as a hot shower for outside. It's always nice to have that option. So now I'm just going to show you this awesomeness. How cool is that? And then from the sink it will just run straight out of our van. So we choose to have not a grey water tank under the van, but we will use like a bucket or something if we need to, and otherwise we just let it run directly into the ground. We're only using natural products, so we will not need to worry about that. Yeah, that's basically our whole setup, and I'm so excited it worked out properly because I did it completely myself. I made a decision about everything, so no help from my dad. So I was like, okay, now stuff is gonna go wrong. But then we checked it. There were just two problems. There was a problem here with this thing. There was a little leak in the rubber ring, but I got that fixed. And there was a little mess up with the water filter. Not completely my fault. They delivered the water filter without without any information, so I connected it a little bit wrong, but we just switched it around and it's all fine now. So the whole setup is working. It's awesome. It's just so cool. We have water. We have running water. Now it is time to get the electricity working. So I go back to work. Bye. Thank you for watching our video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on anything of our van build and van life, or watch one of the videos that pop up around me and enjoy. Bye.